It does look, that's crazy that that's happening, right? Um, on one end, I would like to say that I think that Jan has the type of style. He really slows fights down. He really does. He drags things down to his pace that he wants to fight at. He doesn't, there's not a lot of scrambling happening in Jan's fights. There's not a lot of crazy exchanges. He just slows it down and kind of plods away. That if that works for him, that could be a good thing for him against Izzy. But if Izzy doesn't let that happen, Jan's gonna have a hard time getting going. It's just hard to. I don't know when I'm so unsure about what would happen in some of these fights. The 205er in me would like to think that the guys that are actually in the division should be able to hold their own, and not just be taken out. But in close fights like this, it's the guy that hasn't given me any reason to think that he's beatable right now. It's usually the guy I go with, and Izzy hasn't really shown any kinks in his armor yet. I just think that Izzy would probably just pick him apart from the outside. I don't think that Izzy would finish Jan. I really don't. Thiago did, but that guy's got crazy power. So Izzy doesn't really crack like that. It's kind of a culmination of things. His timing's really good. He's accurate. He's pinpoint accurate. He hits you right in the right spot, right on the button, at the right time. But I don't know. I would have to, if I had to bet on that, I would bet Jan, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Izzy win.
Man, he's a great kickboxer, Izzy. I'm going to go with Izzy. With his past experience and what he's done, I'm going to go with Izzy with that, even though, Blachowicz has freaking bombs in his hands. But I'm going to go with Izzy on that.
Yeah, I think Israel will have that one.
I'm going with Israel. I'm always going to go with Israel. He's the new era of this playing field, and like I stated, and I'm on that era as well. So I'm going to go with him.
See, this is the good one. I don't know, because Jan's got that power. He's got that power, but then everyone is his fault. People are like, he's got the power. He's gonna knock Izzy out and all that. I don't know how Izzy does with the increased weight. Obviously, it's not going to play a factor in depleting his body at all. But it's just that carrying that extra weight around. I'll go Izzy.
That's a hard one, actually, because Blachowicz, he just big. He's a weird big. If he grabs you, that's it. He looks like he got that type of once he grabs you type of strength. So it's gonna be a pretty big challenge, but depending on the cage size they're in, because if they're in the Vegas cage and got the small cage, it's tilted a little bit more towards Blachowicz. But if it's the big cage, it's gonna be more to Israel, because he can use his range. Because a lot of wrestlers, man, they'd take a knee on the chin just to grab you. If it's the big cage, Israel. If the little cage, hey, I go with Israel. Israel.
Adesanya. Yeah, I'm going with Adesanya.
I think Izzy is. I think he's too fast and too athletic for him.
I think Adesanya got that one. He's going to be a little undersized. But, yeah, he's just too good at what he does. He's just way too good at what he does.
I was so hyped to see this. I love Izzy, and see him moving up to be a double champ. That's absolutely dope. So I'm Team Izzy on this.
With that original flow, head kicks with the pros, picks of the fights or anything in the mix. Getting closer to the heart of the flame, bringing conversations with heavy hitting names. You feel the love of the game.